Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the KidsPeace Foundation's presentation of its Hope Project Award for 2020. My name is Linda Rothrock. I'm the Secretary of the KidsPeace Foundation and the Board of Trustees. Today's presentation is being conducted via Zoom call in accordance with KidsPeace's social distancing policy. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce the host of our presentation, KidsPeace Vice President and President of the KidsPeace Foundation, Ann McCauley. Ann?
Thank you, Linda. And thank you all for joining us for this exciting presentation of the Foundation's 2020 Hope Award. I'd like to introduce the people on our call today. Representing the KidsPeace Foundation, in addition to Linda and myself, we welcome two members of our Board of Trustees. David Small is a longtime member of our Board of Directors and a founding member of our KidsPeace Foundation. And Dr. Larry Bell, also a longtime member of our Board of Directors and the current chair of our KidsPeace Foundation. Thank you both for joining us today. We are honored to present our three finalists for the KidsPeace Foundation 2020 Hope Award. The KidsPeace Foundation's Hope Award is a $2,500 gift of funding awarded to a KidsPeace project that builds a feeling of optimism, hope, fulfillment, or success for the people that we serve. The finalists for the 2020 Hope Award are Fill the Bus, which was submitted by Paige Keeter for the Community Living Team in Pennsylvania Residential Programs, Hope Events for Foster Care, which was submitted by Mary Edwards for the Merrillville, Indiana Foster Care Office, and Transforming Trauma Through Hope and Empowerment, submitted by Terry Sears for the SITE program. Welcome again to the three of you, and congratulations for making it to this final review. I'd like to begin by letting each applicant know that all the trustees were very pleased with your requests. They provided an essential perspective into the work and the care that you provide through our programming at KidsPeace. And for that, we all thank you for the job that you do every single day for the young people and the adults and families that we serve. The passion and care that you showed and demonstrated in the applications as you wrote them is really, really compelling and helpful to understand at a deeper level the lives of the people that we care for at KidsPeace. We thank you for giving the trustees this opportunity to meet you and ask a few additional questions. As I said, this is a really difficult decision, and so they needed just a chance to get to know you a little bit better. Okay, so we will begin with Paige. Paige, you submitted Fill the Bus. In your application, you noted that PA residential clients are able to earn KidsPeace bucks, which are credits that can be used to purchase merchandise at our stores in our centers. The bucks are earned through daily scorecard ratings that demonstrate safe and respectful behavior as a motivator to work on goals, behavior, and treatment. In the past year, a mobile store, a grant-funded conversion of a donated school bus, has been put into service to provide this service for kids, keeping them engaged in treatment and motivated as they work toward discharge. To make the most of this opportunity, you are seeking funding to add more items to the mobile store's inventory, items that are more highly valued and desirable to this population. David, would you like to ask Alexa the question from the trustees?
I sure would. Thanks, Ann. So Paige, in your write-up, you shared the catalog of items that are now available, which we all looked through it and we thought it was very innovative improvement for the program. Can you, looking ahead, can you describe both the sort of items you're looking to add to the store's offering as well as the behaviors you're hoping to encourage with that expanded offering?
Sure, absolutely. Our scorecard is an integral part of our treatment here, and our children earn points based on the positive behaviors that they display throughout the day. And the reason that we phrase it that way is because it really puts the onus on the child to demonstrate the behaviors and earn points rather than anybody taking anything away from them. So the language that we use for it is very important. Right now, we've been able to offer primarily snack items for the children and some hygiene items and things like that. We're hoping with the additional funds that we'd be able to get things such as, I'll hold it up, and if you can see some personal wellness books, which are journals on choosing your own journey, finding gratitude, 300 ways to begin writing a wonderful story, things to kind of motivate them during this time, especially during COVID. And also we have some young children who always like to see some new toys. So we have some Pokemon and some Avenger toys and things like that. And I just wanted to take a moment to really share that unique, I think, to Pennsylvania residential is that our children are not able to go off grounds currently because of COVID. And for a period of time, they weren't even able to see their family, caseworkers, things like that. So we have recently been able to open up some limited visitation with their family. But our children currently are still not able to go on home visits, nor are they able to go on community outings with our staff. So for us, it's even a bigger need to keep our children motivated during this time because they do live with us 24/7 right now. And we want to have new and exciting things to support them on the bus and on the center stores. Especially because we're facing the possibility with the holidays that our children who may before have had the option to go home may not have that option this year. So any help that we can get to keep our kids motivated and excited about the things that we can offer is huge for us. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Paige. It's a great answer. Great answer. Thank you.
Great answer and way to pull on the heartstrings there with the Christmas piece. That would be so sad. Thank you, Paige. Mary, we'll turn to you now. In your request for Hope Events for Foster Parents, you are proposing a series of family-centered activities, such as a guided painting effort, therapeutic music, and yoga sessions, and mom and me, dad and me one-on-one time that would provide foster families an opportunity for relaxation and fun, as well as the ability to repair and strengthen attachment and bond. These Hope events will be carefully selected to include activities that promote hope as well as increase the foster parent's skill in caring for traumatized children. Dr. Bell, would you like to ask the question posed by our foundation trustees?
Yeah, I would, Ann. Thanks. And Mary, again, thank you for your proposal. It was a wonderful application. We've known actually since the 90s, and I'm sure that you're aware of this, and it's behind the application from the ACE project, the impact of trauma in young children has both on their physical and mental health. That work's been continued recently by Nadine Burke-Harris, a wonderful pediatrician who cataloged her progress in her new book, The Deepest Well. Wonderful book. Again, we know that trauma lives in the bodies of these children. It impacts their disease state. It's oftentimes carried from generation to generation. So for your proposal, you noted that the Hope Events activities will allow children these small successes. But why and how is that important for a child dealing with trauma in their lives?
A lot of our children come to us with self-esteem issues that are a result of their experiences. A lot of them feel like they're not worthy, that they don't belong, and that comes from their background and experiences they've had, whether it be from moving from foster home to foster home, or maybe internalizing feelings for the reason that they've been removed from their biological parents' home. So we wanted to give them little successes, fun things that they can do, maybe enhance a skill. If art is something that they're interested in, and we can promote that with doing the cookies and canvas or doing an art event with them, giving them the skills and the tools that they can have, to utilize that and to get their feelings, their trauma feelings, and, some of their big emotions that they might not be able to verbalize out through healthy means, doing yoga or doing, again, the painting or, just family fun can be very, very therapeutic for children. It also will promote that bond with the foster parents doing these events to help them show that it's, healthy relationships and how that should look in their future.
Well, thank you very much. Great answer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And Terry, we'll now move to you. The Transforming Trauma Through Hope and Empowerment project would create and distribute resource kits for therapists in the sexual issues treatment and education program you oversee. These kits would include various art supplies, therapeutic games and workbooks, and other resources designed to help the therapists make the most of their weekly sessions with youth and families in the program. There would also be laminated lists of available resources in support of the site program's goals to share with families. The site program sees clients in Northeast Pennsylvania and the Lehigh Valley, and your application seeks funding for 25 of these kits. David, would you please ask the question posed by our trustees?
Yeah, thank you. So, actually, the question comes from the actual name of the project. Very intriguing name, and sounds like incredibly important as well. So, Terry, how do you see the resource kits helping the kids use hope and empowerment to transform a young person's trauma?
Sure. So what I've discovered in doing this over 30 years is that really the experiential process is far more helpful and beneficial to the clients than the talk therapy approach. So we have incorporated in our program lots of expressive therapies, including art and music and recreation. And we have built in a lot of our therapists are art therapists, and we really have found that there's a great success with kids who are able to express creatively and able to share their story through music, through dance, and to have the tools that they need to do that. What we've discovered is there's a lot of barriers to that within our homes. We do our sessions prior to COVID in homes, and a lot of our families did not have basic resources like crayons and construction paper, and we don't have a budget in our program to have all our therapists have those supplies. So our therapists have gone above and beyond to get those on their own. We've gone creative ways to do fundraising, and we did a paint night to get some fundraising for art supplies. And really the littlest things are the things that our clients utilize in our sessions. So things like this, which is just a simple little squeezy toy that brings a smile. We do hope stones, which is simple little things at the Dollar Tree that they're able to kind of put their message of hope and use as a rubbing stone. We've created little things with them in art, which they can then hang on their walls. We do a lot of collaging. We found little sand trays that are at the Five Below stores that we can get, but we don't have those for everyone. So we have them in my healing space office that we call, and therapists are able to borrow things and utilize them. But really with the sense of COVID and the sense of needing to have things kind of more actively available, we'd love to have all our therapists have a startup kit that they can use, that they can share, that they would have journals to give out as their clients needed them. They'd have boxes of crayons to give out to really help their families engage, especially now with telehealth. We found the need to do more creative things, and we're discovering them, but we'd like some ability to get some resources out with some of the licensing requirements with telehealth materials so that therapists really have the tools. And what we've seen is these kids transform from really hopeless and sad situations to very positive and creative, where they're writing poems and stories, they're making collages. I could give you a very brief, I'll try not to make you dizzy, just review of my office space to see some of the creations that some of our clients and therapists have done in our healing space. So it's really kind of taking my office into the community, allowing them to have their own space for this self-expression. And we've really seen them blossom. So we call it Seeds of Hope. So in the beginning, it's just a tiny message of hope that by the end of our program, we get to see the flowers they become, and they get to come back through our lifetime aftercare and share some of that experience with the new clients. So it's really been a matter of how do we allow them to use all their senses in a way to get beyond this pretty dark, complex world that they start with us. And we've done a lot of family fun with creative measures as well. So getting the families involved with creating artwork, dancing together. So it's really just, what we're lacking is the resources. We have lots of creativity, lots of ideas, but the funding has always been a barrier. So I thought when I saw the title that this was a perfect opportunity to try to really get some of that support for something that I think could have a far greater impact in the communities that we work and beyond. And definitely my team is extremely excited about when we talked about some of the things that they thought would be helpful. So it was really like a team approach of what they feel from the impact from their clients, from the feedback, would really make the experience beneficial for everyone.
Very good. Thank you. Great, great overview.
Wow.
I'm busy.
Okay, so I am now going to put our 3 finalists in the waiting room so that the trustees and I can discuss the projects as you have submitted them and make a final decision. As a reminder, there is only one $2,500 gift to be awarded. Certainly all 3 of you are deserving of that funding. We love that you bring this to us, but of course we have to make very difficult decisions. So I'm going to put you in the waiting room so we can discuss it, and then we'll pull you back in just a minute, okay? Wow, very good presentations.
Oh yeah, yeah. Very, very prepared, very passionate too. This is, boy, I am very glad we made the decision that we made.
Me too.
Unbelievable.
When I first brought it up, Anne
Wow.
thought I was crazy and said, well, maybe some year. But I literally couldn't make a choice. I mean, each one of these are so deserving. And David, yesterday the same was true.
I was going to ask you that, yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. And I'm sure tomorrow will be the same.
But you know, I said something to Anne yesterday that it's one thing to write it down on a piece of paper, but it's another thing to just verbalize it and express the idea. It just takes a whole new meaning to whatever they have written on that piece of paper, just to hear them passionately talk about what they're proposing. It makes a difference.
From the heart.
From the heart, yes.
Yeah.
So
what I'm asking for is just so basic. It's sort of like, well, yeah, they need this.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Absolutely. So I would just like to make a couple points that, since we have a little bit of time here before we bring them back in. One is that I want to thank you. Both of you have been so generous with KidsPeace, and I want to make sure for our viewing audience that they understand that the foundation awards are, the financial awards that are given do not come out of the programming funds that we have. It is funding that is raised and presented by our foundation trustees every year. So this is really, just adds a new element or level of beauty to this wonderful gift that you give. And David, so for years, I just want to ask you a quick question. For years, you've served on the board of directors. When the foundation was started in 2017, you immediately raised your hand that you were willing to be a founding member of that, for which I'm very, very grateful. You've been a tremendous support, and you have been giving personally and professionally to KidsPeace so very generously for many, many years. But I'm curious if you would share for our audience, when someone asks you, why do you support KidsPeace? What do you tell them is the reason that you work so hard to support KidsPeace?
Well, you know, first of all, it's an easy question to answer, but yet it's a very hard answer at the same time. And I would tell you that my answer has evolved over the years, but yet the original answers never change. And so one of my very first exposures to KidsPeace, the current chair of the board made a comment to me that he believed there was no such thing as a throwaway child. And just the concept of a child thinking that they might be a throwaway child it's actually very, very saddening. So that was really my first impetus. And then over the years, of course, you're aware that I've been able to see the work that KidsPeace does, and I've seen the outcomes, not only through the reports, but also through the board meetings and other meetings. And then we are incredibly fortunate to, on occasion, see kids come into the board meetings as well. And, you know, that's a second reason, just as valuable as the first reason. And, you know, the other thing I would tell you is that, and I don't go out in the field as much as I would like to, but I had an opportunity not too terribly long ago to go and spend half a day with the foster care office. And, you know, seeing what the foster care administrative staff and caseworkers were doing to help these children really just, it's hard to put into words some of the things that I think they do. And then, you know, I got to learn a little bit about the foster families and why they foster. I got to learn about the some of the situations with the kids. In one particular very, very tragic situation, father was out of the picture, mother was in jail, and the kids were in the foster program. The mother had a sister, and the sister was very open about the fact she would love to adopt the 8-year-old daughter, but in no way, shape, or form wanted anything to do with the 4-year-old son, the sibling of the daughter. And you think about how does that little boy process that? He can't, other than he knows he's been rejected by his own family. And when you see that, and you know the work that KidsPeace is doing to avoid those situations, to help those situations, to keep those two siblings together, you know, that is another reason. So look, I mean, I could go on for a long time. I know, Larry, you could as well, about the great work that KidsPeace does. But, you know, again, there's no such thing as a throwaway child. I absolutely believe that. And I know all of my colleagues in the foundation and the board and the staff believe that as well. And the work that they do is, you talk about, well, this could be life-changing. Everything KidsPeace does is life-changing. And there's probably no better way to think about how to support and how to help than there is targeted towards kids. And so that's why my wife and I are so supportive of the great work that the team does.
Thank you so much, David. That's really
Sure.
wonderful. And Larry, this year you stepped up to be the chairman of the KidsPeace Foundation, which is a very big role. You are putting some important initiatives into place and really pushing them through. And I'm wondering if you could just take a minute to talk a little bit about an initiative that you think is particularly important to the success of promoting KidsPeace and securing the funding that we know we really, really need to provide the resources, as our group just so eloquently said, the resources that they need to have a little more opportunity to have success with these kids.
Yeah, thanks, Anne. I would just echo what David said as well. In what I'd said earlier, the impact of trauma in these children's lives can, without help and support, and the love that we see given by KidsPeace associates every single day, really impact not only their lives, but the lives of people around them. It can not only impact their mental health, but their physical health. And it can go on for generation to generation. We know that there's help. We know that, and I believe, as David does very strongly, that there's no such thing as throwaway children. Every child deserves a chance to have a healthy, happy, productive life. And that's really what KidsPeace does. I think through the foundation, we're trying to help KidsPeace continue their mission and provide resources perhaps where there aren't enough resources so that they can do even more. And we're trying to also help get the message out and get the stories of what KidsPeace does out to a much broader audience, hoping that others can see the importance of providing resources and support to children who, through no fault of their own, have struggles. But there is hope for those struggles. There is hope for a happy, healthy life. And we hope to provide that to them through the work that KidsPeace does.
Thank you, Larry. So I have received indication here that you have made your decision. So I'm going to ask our 3 finalists to come back to the meeting. And then David, I understand you will present the winner. Okay. All right, we have everybody back. Thank you so much for your patience as we had an opportunity to discuss further the projects that you submitted. I'm going to turn it over to David Small to present our KidsPeace Foundation 2020 Hope Award winner.
All right, thanks, Ann. So Paige, Mary, and Terry, and several things I want to say before we get to the heart of the matter here. On behalf of the entire foundation and the board itself, thank you for all the work you and your colleagues do every single day for the kids that are in our care. I've seen it firsthand many times. The KidsPeace associates demonstrate every single day the power of what this award is meant to support, building in these precious children and their families a sense of optimism, hope, and fulfillment, as well as showing them a path to a successful life by overcoming obstacles. And frankly, it's really an honor for Larry and I and others to support that vital work and have the ability to say thank you for making a very big difference in these kids' lives. I'd also have to tell you that you've made our job very, very hard to do. And determining the winners every year, it's a great honor, yes, but honestly, very, very hard to do. And there are so many exceptional programs that are nominated and actually apply for the Hope Award. And we absolutely want to thank the KidsPeace organizational leadership team for helping us look through these and identify the 3 finalists from so many deserving requests. So each of your projects, honestly, were so deserving that the Board of Trustees have decided to take a very unexpected, but in my words, very, very appropriate action. So Paige, Mary, and Terry, on behalf of the KidsPeace Foundation Board of Trustees, I have the great pleasure of informing you that each of your projects will receive a $2,500 award for 2020. Congratulations, and thank you very much for what you do.
Thanks for bringing
Thank you.
Congratulations. Bringing hope, help, and healing to children, families, and adults. This is KidsPeace.